Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here this evening as we honor our 4 seniors and their parents who have sacrificed greatly in order that their daughters could attend Wheaton College. Wheaton head coach Kent Madsen says of the 4 starters, four seniors, I'm very proud of Emily, Paris, Taylor, and Hannah, and grateful that each of you has invested physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually into this team. If I had to describe this group in one word, it would be resilient. You have experienced injuries, long nights traveling to and from games, shortened holiday breaks, and the 2-year drain of COVID protocols. We applaud and admire you for your efforts both on and off the court. As a group, you have accepted roles that demonstrated your desire to help this team win. The class of 2022 has won 75% of their games with an overall record of 68-23 in conference play. And in conference play, they're 45-13, winning 76% of their games. On top of that, they have been to 2 NCAA tournaments and have won 2 conference championships. I cannot thank these seniors enough for the sacrifices they have made to help this program be so successful. Now let us briefly recognize each senior player and their parents. Our first senior tonight is Emily Niram, a biology major from Edgerton, Minnesota, with her parents Joel and Denise Niram. Coach Madsen says of Emily, as a former baseball player, the one thing I know is that you have to be able to hit the curve. Well, life happens to also throw a lot of curves our way, and Emily is a player that definitely has had to adjust to the curve. What started as a promising career on the court suddenly shifted to finishing her career on the sideline as a manager and student coach. Through this journey, I've seen Emily serve the team as a selfless leader who encourages others and pours into the lives of the younger players. Emily is one of those rare people who has demonstrated finding joy in the trials of life. That's a true testament to how she has grown in her faith. We are so grateful that Emily has been a part of our program all 4 years, and we know in the future she will be a great coach. It's in the genes. Emily Niram. Next, we have Paris Cheney with her parents Jeremiah and Amy. Paris is a biology and secondary education double major from Batavia, Illinois. Coach Madsen says of her, if you know Paris well, you know she likes a challenge. In her 4 years at Wheaton, she's been one of the very few players that has tackled the challenge of a tough academic load, the commitment to a basketball team, and the commitment and dedication of serving her country. It's truly remarkable to watch Paris balance such a hectic schedule. The rewards of this undertaking are witnessing a young woman who has been an outstanding leader. Through her 4 years, she has endured much, and yet she always finds a way to persevere and serve. We are truly grateful that Paris has been a part of this team. She is a player that on a daily basis brings her best effort. Thanks, Paris, for being the ultimate team player and serving this team and our country. Paris Cheney. Our third senior tonight is Taylor Sanders, a psychology major from Tulsa, Oklahoma, joined by her parents, Frank and Robin. Coach Madsen says of her, Taylor will always hold a special place in the Wheaton College women's basketball program. She was our first ever recruit from Oklahoma. What we appreciated about Taylor during her 4-year career is the spark and fire she provided to our team. Taylor is relentless in attacking the basket on a drive, fighting for position in the post, or getting physical guarding her opponent. She made her teammates better in practice. She understands the game extremely well and is willing to play hard even when her body was beat up. Her example on the court set a standard for our younger players to follow. We are extremely glad Taylor came to Wheaton and appreciate the energy she always brought to the court. Taylor Sanders. Our final senior tonight is Hannah Swider with her parents Mike and Nancy. Hannah is an elementary education major from here in Wheaton. In all CCIW selection in the 2021 season, Hannah has played in 82 career games and is 40th in the program history with 677 career points. Coach Madsen says of her, "I am not exaggerating when I say no player has put up more shots in King Arena than Hannah Swider." It's not a knock. As the daughter of former head football coach Mike Swider, Hannah has been shooting in this gym since she started playing competitive basketball. What you can easily say about Hannah is that she never wanted anyone to outwork her, and we appreciate that mentality. Hannah walks away from this program as a 3-year starter who hit many big shots and led us in scoring on many occasions. I'm also thankful for her leadership role that Hannah has embraced and how she cares for her teammates. She can walk away with this program with no regrets, knowing that she gave it her all. Hannah Swider. Coach Matt would like to conclude saying again, I would like to thank each senior for being a part of this program. My hope is that you leave here knowing you have friendships that will last a lifetime and that you will always keep the main thing, that being a relationship with Jesus Christ. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give our seniors and their parents one more round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to the arena on the campus of Wheaton College for today's CCIW contest between the Big Blue of Millikin University and your Wheaton College Thunder. At this time, we'd ask everyone to please rise for the playing of our national anthem. Here are the starting lineups for this evening's game. First for the Big Blue of Millikin University. Number 3, a 5'6" junior from Altamont, Illinois, Miranda Fox. A 5'8" sophomore from Philo, Illinois, number 22, Elise Knudsen. Number 23, a 6' even senior from Mendon, Illinois, Jordan Hildebrand. A 6' even junior from Hayworth, Illinois, number 32, Bailey Kaufman. And number 45, a 5'10" senior from El Paso, Illinois, Aubrey Staten. Millikin is coached by Olivia Lett. Here are the starters for your Wheaton College Thunder. Number 4, a 5'8" sophomore from Victoria, Minnesota, Lily Schwen. A 5'10" senior from Wheaton, Illinois, Wheaton North High School, number 22, Hannah Swider. Number 25, a 5'11 freshman from Northfield, Minnesota, Annika Richardson. A 6'1 junior from Coopersburg, Pennsylvania, number 31, Ellie Castle. And a 5'10 sophomore from Asheville, North Carolina, number 34, Caroline Sicking. Wheaton is coached by Kent Madsen, assisted by Katie Cuthbert and Annie Gensler. The officials for tonight's game, LaRonda Connor, John Mariani, and Shante Glenn.
Welcome back, everyone, to another presentation of Wheaton Thunder Sports Network. Today we're bringing you the final regular season game for the Wheaton Thunder. They are going up against the Millikin Big Blue tonight. This is also Wheaton's senior night, so we had a nice ceremony beforehand to honor the seniors as tip-off begins. I'm here with Amelia Sniffen as we get started with this game action.
Yeah, Josh, it's going to be a great night here in King Arena honoring the seniors for the Thunder, and the Thunder will turn the ball over, or Millikin will turn the ball over in the first play of the game, giving the Thunder a possession here. Millikin, of course, 13-2 in the CCIW right now, and Wheaton 7-8. So Millikin's playing for the CCIW Championship regular season title tonight. The Thunder will be playing Tuesday against North Park as they are 5th in the conference right now.
And lots of energy here to start off this game, with the Thunder being stifled there on that last offensive possession by a tough defense from Millikin. Yeah. They look to put their first points of the board up right now. Nice turnaround jumper from number 32, Bailey Kaufman. She can't get that to go, and after another shot attempt from them, Wheaton will get the ball back after escaping.
As you said, Josh, a lot of energy right off the bat here for both teams. Wheaton trying to, Caroline Sicking with a deep two there for the Thunder. As I was going to say, trying to win for their seniors tonight. Play hard for those senior players on senior night, and Millikin's also going to play hard tonight trying to win that regular season title. So this will be a great game to see who wants it more, as Knutson misses short, but it's rebounded by Staten and put back for the first points for Millikin of this game.
Yeah, and the Thunder are going to hope to see some more offensive possessions start for Millikin like that last one did with that really short shot. Unfortunately, it did end up in an offensive rebound and a score from Staten, but the Thunder hoping to capitalize a little bit more if we see some more misses from the Big Blue. Millikin already making some substitutions here.
Yeah, another turnover for Millikin, which is unlike this Big Blue team so early on to have so many mistakes. So we'll see if they'll clean it up in the rest of this first half as the Thunder get the ball back.
Nice pass inside to Hannah Swider from Annika Richardson just outside the three-point line, and Hannah Swider scores on that possession.
Yeah, great flex there by the senior to get wide open under the basket and get her team ahead. It's now 4-2 with just 2 minutes into this game here in King Arena tonight, as Hildebrand will drive and she'll miss short. Rebounded by Big Blue, but they'll miss yet another rebound, and it'll stay with Big Blue under the basket.
Yeah, good defense there from the Thunder, allowed an offensive rebound, but good stuff, making it a difficult shot for Hildebrand there. They're going to look to make something happen. Deep inbound pass to Knudsen, who's working against Lily Schwen. She finds a shooter, and there will be a walk called on number 5, Jasmine Brown of Millikin. That'll give Wheaton the ball back.
And again, another turnover for Millikin so early on in the game. I think that's 3 so far for them. They only average 16 a game, so unlike them to play so nervous up at first, but Wheaton taking advantage of that as Hannah Swider will score again, and the Thunder will go up 6-2 in this first quarter.
Yeah, great shot there from Hannah Swider against closeout from the Millikin defender, but she still sank the shot. And like you said, Amelia, Millikin playing very sloppy in these first 3 minutes. Now, granted, there's a lot of game left, a lot of time left to turn it around, as, of course, we say that as number 23, oh, excuse me, that was number
22, Elise Knudsen.
Elise Knudsen, thank you, Amelia, with that three-point make for Millikin. And Ellie Castle answers with what we've affectionately known this season as her bread and butter, that mid-range jump shot, making good on that, giving Wheaton a little bit more comfortable lead. They now sit up 8-5 against Millikin.
Yeah, great to see Wheaton scoring so early on. I think that's been one of their biggest struggles this season, is just getting the ball in the hoop. They're a great defensive team, but they struggle on the offensive end. So great to see them early on in this game, shooting good shots, smart shots, and scoring as a result of that, as Knutson will drive straight down the middle and score again to get her team just down by 1 now. With 6.5 minutes to go, Caroline Sickink with the nice behind-the-back move, and she'll finish on the other end to get her team now up 3. Just back and forth already in this game, Josh. So exciting tonight in King Arena.
Yeah, and some of the usual scorers for Wheaton haven't really had a chance to get at the basket, as number 45, Aubrey Staten, gets that one to fall. We haven't seen a shot even from Annika Richardson, which is pretty unusual this far into the game. We've seen Caroline Sickink get some action. Wheaton overall being very, very unselfish with the ball on the offensive side, as Annika Richardson's first shot attempt of the night does not fall. This is Knutson again for Millikin, almost finishing a potential three-point play, but instead she'll go to the line for 2.
Yeah, it looks like Lily Schwinn just reached in there a little too aggressive, fouls Knutson, who doesn't finish the shot, so she'll have 2 free throws here, as multiple subs were put in for both teams here. Elise Knutson leading the conference in scoring right now, averaging 18.4 points per game. The sophomore out of Illinois has had a standout career so far with Big Blue. Last year, her freshman year, just had a great first season with Big Blue, and this year has remained their leading scorer. She'll make both of her free throws here and be subbed out.
We've already seen why Knutson is leading the conference in scoring, as she had a nice three-point make and a make at the basket, so can make it from all parts of the floor. Wheaton now down by 1. Their first deficit of the night, as Hannah Swider pulls up for a mid-range jumper that's just a little off. Millikin pushing the pace back up the court. Good defense in the paint. And that will be a score for Millikin on that last possession. Brynda Rill is in the game for the Thunder, along with Kaylee Hermanson. They're getting some early game action here. Hannah Swider looking for someone. She finds Hermanson, who goes across the court, all the way in the corner now for Brynda Rill, whose three-point attempt is just off, almost rebounded by Wheaton, but is picked up. This is Snyder now for Millikin with an easy driving lane in on the near side. She got the ball just past midcourt with not a defender near her, had a easy path to the basket and made good on that layup attempt. Wheaton now with just under 5 minutes left in this first quarter finds themselves down 5 to Big Blue. They'll hope to regain some momentum after this timeout.
Yeah, just a major defensive miscommunication there on the Thunder on that last play. People not matching up, not seeing that Big Blue was advancing the ball there. That's something that they're going to want to be careful on with this team. They need to stay consistent with their defensive efforts if they want to get ahead against Millikin tonight. Millikin can really do it all. They have great shooters, but they're also a great driving team. Most of their points come from inside the paint, so we're going to see Wheaton kind of sagging off of them a little bit tonight and defending the paint a little bit more. And hopefully that they'll adjust with those defensive miscommunications that we've just seen, as Millikin's now up by 5 with just about 5 minutes to go here in the first.
Yeah, we saw that blown defensive miscommunication, like you said, Amelia. We actually saw one of those on the Millikin end, though. Earlier, Caroline Sickink found herself underneath the basket and shook a defender with a nice behind-the-back dribble move, but she went untouched to the basket before that from just inside the midcourt line. So both teams having a few lapses defensively. The winning team will certainly have to tighten up to win this game, as both teams are far too offensively talented.
Yeah, both teams allow their opponents about 60 points a game, so they're ranked 4th and 5th in the conference defensively. So both teams great defensively, so we'll see who can get it together offensively tonight to get this game, as Kaylee Hermanson thought about it, but ended up traveling there on that play and gives the possession back to Big Blue.
Yeah, that impressive defensive energy from Millikin on that last possession left some of our Wheaton players a little bit shaken. They looked a little rattled, almost lost a pass off the hands of Annika Richardson, ended up with Kaylee Hermanson just having a little bit of a mental lapse there, ending up turning the ball over as Millikin's three-point attempt is no good from the corner. They get the offensive rebound. They'll have another chance here as they reset their offense. And number 24, that is Sophie Darden, has a miscommunication with her teammate, ends up passing the ball to the bench of Wheaton, and they will get the ball back here. Looking to score after having a little bit of a drought in these past few minutes. Annika Richardson gets the ball back from Hannah Swider and is called for a foul. The Millikin bench very happy with that one.
Yeah, we'll watch that again here. It looks like there was a lot of physicality on that play. Refs ended up calling a charge, but looks like Richardson got pretty heckled on that play there as Millikin will have the ball back again.
Millikin moving here, trying to find someone with a open shot. Nice skip pass to the near side. Bounce pass to Staton down low, who makes her shot, but it will not count.
Looks like she stepped right out of bounds as she drove. Yep, you can see that foot right there on the line. Ref catches it, and it'll go back with the Thunder here for another possession. The Thunder still down by 5 with about 3 minutes to go here. Would
have been a great baseline find from Kaufman if Staton had just had her foot just a little more in bounds. But Wheaton certainly will be happy with catching a little bit of a break there. Both teams scoreless here in about the last 3 minutes. Millikin will look to break that drought. Swider playing tough defense on Millikin's number 3.
Miranda Fox looks like she just fell down, couldn't quite keep a hold of it, and it just went right out of bounds, gives it right back to the Thunder. And we'll see here if they slow it down on this possession and get a smart shot, an open shot, kind of work the ball a little bit more, use the shot clock.
Kaylee Hermanson finds Brenda Rill in the corner. Wide open three-point attempt is just a little long, but it's rebounded by Ellie Castle, who gets it. Now the ball swings around. Another corner shot attempt after a few bounces around the rim. Hannah Swider gets that one to fall.
Yeah, got to give credit to Ellie Castle there. What a great offensive board that she got for her team, then able to pass it out. Smart play by the Thunder, swinging it around completely and giving Swider that nice little mid-range jumper. So great play there by the Thunder. As Hildebrand will drive, and looks like we've got a call here, a travel, so it'll go back in the possession of the Thunder.
Yeah, good work from Ellie Castle on that last defensive possession. We saw Brenda Rill coming in with the help defense, which forced Hildebrand into just a travel there. Wheaton will now look to score again. Hannah Swider directing the offense. Kaylee Hermanson passed it back out to Swider, but there was some contact there. Wheaton will stay with the ball after it goes out of bounds on Millikin. Brenda will inbound. She gets it to Hannah Swider. Now to Annika Richardson, who pulls up for a deep three-point attempt, and it's good from Annika Richardson. Great three-point shot from her. Hope to see more of that as this game continues, but good to see her get on the scoreboard before this first quarter ends.
Yeah, beautiful shot there by the freshman. She's been a little quiet recently in their past couple of games, and if you come in King Arena at any given day, you'll see her shooting on the shooting gun at all times. So she's been working to try to get her shot right again, and that shot right there is a testimony to how hard Richardson's been working in these past couple of weeks so that she can contribute to her team on nights like these.
That last Millikin offensive possession stalled after Ellie Castle had some great awareness and was able to tip a pass out of bounds. They'll now be forced to inbound it deep. They get it to Staton, who's had some action for them tonight. Her shot attempt at the rim is contested by Sickink. Is able to contest well without getting a foul called. Great work by her. Sickink now with the ball again. She finds a wide open Kaylee Hermanson, who against a nice closeout from the Millikin defender still makes the shot.
Yeah.
Great shot there from Kaylee Hermanson.
Beautiful shot by Hermanson, all started by Caroline Sickink, who defended that play well, grabbed the defensive board, brought it down, assisted to Kaylee Hermanson, and then came back down and got that jump ball to get her team another possession. So a great couple of possessions in a row there for Caroline Sickink, just doing everything she needed to do offensively and defensively to get her team that lead, as they now lead by 2 with just about a minute and 15 seconds here, as Paris Cheney, the senior out of Batavia, will sub in now and inbound the ball to Lily Schwinn.
Yeah, really great to see both teams playing with a lot of energy, but Wheaton just has simply been a lot more disciplined with that energy than Millikin has been this game, as Lily Schwinn finds a wide open Kaylee Hermanson right underneath the basket, and Hermanson's going to make good on that one. Wheaton now with a 4-point lead with just under 1 minute left in this first quarter. The energy is high in King Arena right now as fans continue to stream in. Millikin almost lost that last possession as Staten pulls from 3. It's no good. Rebounded by Schwen. Great awareness by Lily Schwen there.
And Ellie Castle just got a little too excited there, got that pass at half court, thought she saw a teammate ahead, but ended up traveling there, gives the ball back to Millikin.
Yeah, Castle just lost the handle a little bit on that pass, ended up giving it right back. This will likely be Millikin's last offensive possession of the quarter, as Staten will have a nice inbound pass towards the baseline, but it's tipped out once again by Ellie Castle.
Yeah, great hands by Ellie Castle. She's just been doing a great job defensively tonight, knowing where she needs to be on the help. So when those Millikin drivers come into the paint, she's right there with that 6-foot body to block them and let them know that they can't score.
Yeah, Ellie Castle already with multiple tip passes tonight to go along with some nice rebounds. She's been making her impact seen on and off the stat sheet. Good to see that from the junior. Pull-up three-pointer from Knudsen is good. She was quiet for the past few minutes, but makes her mark once again as we have just over 5 seconds. Wheaton will look to get a quick score here. Lily Schwen tried to pass it in, but the ball was kicked by a Millikin player into the stands. Thankfully, a fan was there to get it back. And Wheaton will have just over 2 seconds here to try and make something happen. I guess we'll see if Wheaton scores here.
Gets the ball into Hermanson, who's just short. And that'll end the first quarter, folks, as Wheaton leads 19-18 here in King Arena against Big Blue in the last regular season game.
Yeah, and that last possession there that preceded the Wheaton inbound, there was a kicked ball violation that to me looked quite intentional. The first time I've seen an intentional kicked ball this season, but it ended up kind of working out for Millikin as they could reset their defense and stop Wheaton from scoring in those last 2 seconds. Man, an action-packed first quarter here from King Arena with Wheaton holding a narrow 1-point lead. Amelia, what are some things that you've noticed that have helped both teams stay in this one?
Yeah, I think what's been the real difference here is Millikin being a little bit sloppy in this first quarter. They have 6 turnovers so far in this first quarter, and Wheaton's been able to capitalize on that so far with 6 points off of those 6 turnovers. And so that's really been the difference here. Millikin's just not playing their regular game, and Wheaton is taking advantage of that and coming on to the other end, and Wheaton's finishing tonight. They have a great shooting percentage here in this first quarter, and that's what's given us such a good game so far. So we'll see if Millikin can kind of clean up those passes, clean up those mistakes here in the second quarter, and we'll see if Wheaton can stay with that same defensive effort that they had in the first quarter, as we'll start it off, and Millikin will get the first possession here.
Yeah, both teams playing well tonight. Wheaton, incredible on offense, in my opinion. They've had some really great shot selection. We'll hope to see that continue as Millikin getting a little frazzled here on this possession. Some frantic passes as Knudsen makes good on a very tough shot. Lily Schwen using the baseline there as an extra defender, but Knudsen still made that nice floater from a bad angle fall. Caroline Sickink now with the ball for the Thunder working. Now it's to Ellie Castle, who looks for a teammate, and it's picked off by Knudsen, who's being pursued by Hannah Swider, and Knudsen against the contact from Swider makes that one fall.
Yeah.
Knudsen busy early in this second quarter.
An incredibly athletic play there by Knudsen to just jump up in the air and grab that pass, steal the ball, and then bring it down to the other end. You can hear the Millikin bench now on their feet cheering loud. They needed that energy right off the bat in this second quarter, and we'll see if Millikin will continue to capitalize on that and use that energy to their advantage.
Yeah, Jordan Hildebrand cracking a big grin after forcing a turnover there. We'll see if Millikin can turn that into some points as Hildebrand passes it in to Knudsen, who gets another 2 points. Knudsen definitely picking up her scoring as the game has gone on. This is Caroline Sickink driving in. Hard contact down low between Sickink and number 24.
Looks like that's Sophie Darden's first foul.
Yep.
First Millikin foul of the quarter.
After that hard fall, Sickink just gets right back up. Very gritty player, as we've seen all season, and she'll shoot 2 free throws. She makes the first.
Yeah, Sickink is such a tough player. I think if we had a stat sheet for how many, or who was on the floor the most this season, it would be Caroline Sickink. She's always on the floor, getting the ball, getting jump balls, and playing gritty, as we see her go for her own rebound there, but just can't quite grab it there, and it'll go back in the hands of Big Blue.
Yeah, Sickink been a great contributor this season. For those of you who are not able to join us for some of our games earlier in this season, great moment for Sickink was when she came in back into the game with a cotton ball stuck up one nostril after getting knocked in the face with a bloody nose, told Coach Madsen to keep her in. Wheaton's going to need that energy from her through the rest of this game as they now are down 6 points. Sickink now with the ball, fighting against tough contact and gets the shot to fall. Great work from Sickink, fighting through the contact, in fact embracing it, using it now to find herself in a position to make a 3-point play.
Yeah, great job there by Caroline Sickink, recognizing that Hildebrand was there, turning the other way, and then drawing the foul. And we'll see here if she can finish the 3-point play, as she's now on the line yet again. And it's short. Looks like Annika Richardson got a tip on it. Almost got it back to a teammate, but instead back in the hands of Big Blue.
Millikin did not turn anything out of that fast break opportunity, but does get a shot up, and it's rebounded by Hannah Swider, who pushes the pace up the court. Finds Kaylee Hermanson on the 3-point line. Hermanson thought about shooting it, but instead she'll find Annika Richardson, whose 3-point attempt hits the back of the rim and bounces out. Is Knudsen now with the ball for Millikin. She's had a great night for them offensively already. Kaufman pass down inside to number 24. Sophie Darden. Thank you, Amelia.
Great ball movement there by Millikin to just keep swinging it around until Sophie Darden was wide open underneath the basket. They're a smart team and they know how to work together to get each other open, and that play is a great testimony to that.
Caroline Sickink picked off. It's Knudsen again with just good awareness, getting a steal off of just picking off a pass. And it was her and Swider streaking towards the basket once again. But that possession was stopped, and it will now be a Millikin ball. They'll get to inbound from just near the Wheaton bench. And they'll look to score here after forcing the turnover by Knudsen. Knudsen works against Lily Schwen. The ball is now getting passed around. Skip pass across the court. And it's now Staten in the corner. Does a little fake against Bryn Durrell, but it doesn't work, and it's wide open for number 14, Chelsea McCullum. Her shot does not fall. It's rebounded by Bryn Durrell. Wheaton down 6 still, with just under 6.5 minutes left in this second quarter. Lily Schwen working inside. Hannah Swider, her shot is off, Her three-point attempt goes off of the left side of the rim. Knudsen once again with the ball for Big Blue. And it's Kaufman with a three-point attempt. That's off to the right and rebounded by Lily Schwen.
Both teams just with shots a little too short right now. And we've got an offensive foul here on Annika Richardson. We'll watch that back here, see what happened. Looks like Richardson just cut up a little too hard. Got Staten on the floor, which will give Millikin another offensive possession here as Ellie Castle will sub back in for Annika Richardson.
Jordan Hildebrand with the ball now for Millikin. She passes it to McCollum, who gets it to Staten. Staten's three-point attempt is just shy, and after fighting for the rebound, Wheaton ends up with it. Hannah Swider moving through a tough press. Oh, and Lily Schwen's hard pass to the corner is just a little to the left of its intended recipient, and it hits the Millikin bench, and they will now have another chance to score. Millikin up 28-22 on the home Wheaton Thunder with just over 5 minutes left in this first half. Kaufman with the ball. She gets it down low to Hildebrand, who works around the Ellie Castle defense.
We've got an offensive foul down low. If you watch this again, you can see Hildebrand just hooking Ellie Castle there, which is an illegal foul. So great that the ref caught that, gives the ball back to the Thunder.
Ellie Castle has been quite the problem on the defensive side of the ball for Millikin. She's been just very stout in the paint tonight, playing great defense and not fouling. And she's certainly going to be a key if Wheaton wants to escape with a victory tonight, as Kaylee Hermanson puts up a nice shot, bounces in. Good to see the Thunder get another score on the board as Brynda Rill with some great defense, keeping her hands off of the ball handler but managing to force a turnover. Great to see that effort from her.
And we've got a timeout here. A great job by the Thunder there. Kaylee Hermanson finishing on the offensive end, and the freshman coming down on the other end, forcing the ball out of Millikin's hands. So we've seen the Wheaton Thunder just fighting in this first half to stay in the game against the #1 team in the conference right now, Millikin Big Blue, and they're hanging right now. They're playing great offense, great defense. As you said, Ellie Castle has been a huge presence on the defensive end, really stopping Jordan Hildebrand, who's 9th in the conference right now in scoring. So Ellie Castle understood her assignment down low to stop Hildebrand in the paint, and she's done a great job of that. The Thunder have been rebounding, and as I said, they're hanging with Millikin right now in this first half here with just about 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, both teams playing a little bit streaky so far. We've had quite a few lead changes already. Both teams have held the lead 3 times, with there also being 3 ties during this game. At points it's looked like Millikin's game, at points it's looked like Wheaton's game. I think this is going to be a classic down to the wire, just from what it seems so far. We've had great performances from players on both teams. Knudsen for Millikin has been offensively really difficult to stop. On the Wheaton side of the ball, we've had a lot of contributions offensively. They've been really unselfish with the ball. And Ellie Castle has had a standout performance on the defensive end for her team, forcing a lot of missed shots without fouling, getting some great rebounds. Overall, just great play from her.
Yeah, and rebounds are going to be the key for Wheaton in the remaining portion of this first half. They're being out-rebounded right now 15-8 with only 1 offensive rebound, whereas Millikin has 6. And so that's what's really kept Millikin in the game and given them this lead. So we're going to need Wheaton to do a little bit more of that with the remainder of this half, as Lily Schwen will get an offensive foul here. We'll watch that again. Touchy call for sure, as it'll go back in the hands of Millikin. Not quite sure if I agree with that call, but Millikin will have another possession here.
Jordan Hildebrand is in the game. Her pass is a little short. Paris Cheney wrestles for the ball against Millikin's Chelsea McCullum. Great to see Paris Cheney, the senior from Batavia, Illinois, getting some game action and making an impact right away after getting subbed in by Coach Madsen.
Yeah, Paris Cheney's only played in 7 games this season, but she is a presence in practice. You don't want to be guarded by Cheney in practice. She will be quite the presence against you, and just missed her layup down there a little too strong down low, as Jordan Hildebrand will work down low and get the foul against Ellie Castle there.
And if I'm not mistaken, that is the first foul against Ellie Castle tonight. And if not for that foul, Paris Cheney was streaking in to pick off that pass. That likely would have been a Wheaton ball if not for that foul call. Brenda Rill doing her best to throw off the inbound, but it ends up in the hands of Millikin. It's Knudsen working against Schwen. Good defense from Schwen, really sticking on Knudsen, and had a nice contest on that shot, but Knudsen, as Amelia mentioned earlier, leading the conference in scoring with just over 18 points a game, gets that one to fall as Ellie Castle answers from close to the basket. A nice baseline shot from her as Chelsea McCullum gets a tough shot to fall against defense from Hannah Swider, and Hannah Swider will be called for the defensive foul.
Yeah, great job by Millikin to advance the ball. Swider tries to draw a charge there, but just wasn't set in her footing. Didn't have both feet on the ground there, so Millikin will get the chance here at an extra point.
And McCullum buries her free throw. Millikin now with 33 to the Thunder's 26, with just under 3.5 minutes left in this first half. Brenda Rill handling the ball. She has a nice cross-court pass to Swider, who pulls for 3 and drains it. Great shot from Hannah Swider, working off a beautiful pass from Brenda Rill. Snyder looks to answer, but cannot. Ellie Castle just a little too slow on the defensive end, does not pick up the rebound, and Millikin takes advantage of that offensive possession off of that McCullum offensive rebound. Wheaton's still down 6 points, as they've been for much of this second quarter.
Yeah, yet another offensive rebound there for Big Blue. That's really what's done it for them. Wheaton needs to rebound defensively if they want to get back in this game, as Hildebrand will come down and she'll finish on the other end with a fast break point, and Hannah Swider will get another foul here and bring Jordan Hildebrand to the line again. Excuse me, Kaylee Hermanson will get another foul there.
Yeah, and that was just a crafty veteran move from Hildebrand. She positioned her body to get Kaylee Hermanson in just a really tough position, so that if Hermanson was going to contest, she was likely going to foul. And Hildebrand managed to finish on that as well, and she'll have a chance for a three-point play here. Fouls really starting to play a part in this game, especially in these past few minutes. Wheaton's got called for quite a few fouls that result in shots, and quite a few that have just turned the ball over. They'll look to clean that up in these last few minutes of this first half here. I'm sure Coach Madsen will have some words for his team on having that discipline that Wheaton had in the first quarter, as Ellie Castle attempts to pass out of a difficult situation. It's tipped by Millikin. So Thunder will retain possession, but Millikin just swarming on the defensive end here. They have a lot of momentum as they hold a 9-point lead. Caroline Sickink collects the inbound pass for her team. She works inside, and number 12, that is Natalie Snyder. She gets just a little too greedy. Gets called for the reach-in foul against Caroline Sickink. And Brenda Rill's pass is just a little too strong for Ellie Castle, and Jordan Hildebrand finds an open Knudsen down low, and she makes good on that. Wheaton now down 11 points with just over 2 minutes left.
Yeah, Jordan Hildebrand, the veteran, as you said earlier, 5th year. As Hannah Swider, the senior, will make her layup, but Millikin will get the charge there.
And
excuse me, nope, offensive foul. Millikin thought it was a charge. That celebration on the bench had me a little confused. They loved that, but offensive foul before the shot, which will give Hannah Swider 2 shots, I believe. Okay, nope. Hannah Swider did get the and one, and there was a defensive foul there. So Hannah Swider will make good with her free throw. Now her team's just down by 8 with a little under 2 minutes to go. But as I was saying, both of these, the senior and the 5th year Jordan Hildebrand, the senior Hannah Swider and the 5th year Jordan Hildebrand going back and forth. But really it's been the sophomore Elise Knudsen who stepped up in this game for Millikin to get her team ahead as they now lead by 11 with a minute and a half here.
Knudsen with 21 points in this first half. Very impressive performance from her thus far. And that will be a foul against Caroline Sickink.
Yeah, Caroline Sickink just a little too strong on her layup. Tries to get her own board, but ends up fouling Jordan Hildebrand there.
Wheaton once again finds themselves down by double digits, but still fighting. There's still a lot of game left to play. Millikin has been just a little bit more in control as this game has gone on, but Wheaton's still showing a lot of fight. Once again, fouls have played just a huge part as this game has gone on. Certainly would not look as far apart as it does right now without some of the fouls calls that Wheaton has had against them. They will certainly look to clean that up after halftime. Just under 1.5 minutes left in this first half. Wheaton will look to make something happen offensively and hope to get some stops on the defensive end as well. Swider taking her time against a tough press. Nice dribble move from her. She just crosses over to the defender and has a shot at the basket, but is off to the left as there's a lot of contact down low.
You can hear Coach Madsen telling his team to get back defensively to stop Millikin on the other end as Jordan Hildebrand will get the ball down low again, taking advantage of Ellie Castle being out of the game and making a lot of moves in the paint right now to get her team now up within 15. And it looks like Caroline Sickink will travel on the other end, giving Millikin yet another possession to extend their lead going into halftime.
Yeah, both teams started this game playing just a little sloppy. Millikin carried that a little bit longer, and now it looks like it's catching up to Wheaton a little bit as they've made just a few smaller mistakes that have quickly added up. One of the main reasons they now find themselves down 15 to Millikin.
And looks like it was tipped out by the Thunder, so it'll stay with Millikin here with just 13 seconds on the shot clock. Excuse me, looks like they changed that call and it will go back to the Thunder. And they'll have 27 seconds here for the last possession of the game. And we'll see what the Thunder will do here. I'm gonna assume that Hannah Swider will hold it up top, wait for a high screen, and we'll see exactly that as Bryn Durrell will screen for the senior. She'll drive inside. Bunch of contact, but no call, which will give the ball back to Elise Knudsen with 10 seconds to go here in the first.
Swider just a bit frustrated, as you could see there. Came through some really hard contact against 2 defenders and didn't get a foul call as Elise Knudsen sinks a buzzer-beating little floater from just outside the paint. What a first half from Elise Knudsen as she now sits at 24 points on the evening.
Yeah, Elise Knudsen was the big problem for Wheaton in their last game against Big Blue in Decatur in December, where they lost 48-68. Elise Knudsen had 25 points, so just one more than she had right now in the first half. So they'll really look to try to stop her in the second half, make sure that she can't drive, stay tight on her. But really the big difference that we've seen in this first half has been the points off of the bench. Millikin has 15 points off the bench, whereas Wheaton only has 6. Wheaton, of course, has had a lot of tough injuries so far this season, and so their bench has just kept getting smaller and smaller, and so the players that they're able to bring in is smaller and smaller as well. And so they have tired legs, and we saw that starting to happen at the end of this first half, Josh, and we'll see if they'll make some adjustments going into the second half to kind of close this lead down and see if they can compete a little bit better against Big Blue here in King Arena.
Yeah, we'll certainly see some adjustments, most definitely from the Wheaton side, as they hope to retake a little bit more momentum. Millikin will hope to stand pat at what they've been doing, and they've been executing well. Thank you for joining us. In this first half, we'll be back after halftime for second half action. Once again, this has been the Wheaton Thunder Sports Network, and we'll be back with you in just a few minutes.
And it was like,
Hello, my name's Priscilla, and I'm an applied health science major from Portland, Oregon. Thanks for joining our tour today.
And I'm Blake. I'm a history and communication major from Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome to Wheaton. Let's get started. Established in 1860, Wheaton College is guided by its original mission for Christ and His kingdom, a mission to educate the whole person and prepare you to make the difference God is calling you to make. Our 2,400 undergraduate students come from all 50 states and over 70 countries to make Wheaton College their home for the next 4 years.
We're located in Wheaton, Illinois. Campus is only a short walk from a downtown area filled with coffee shops, parks, and restaurants. We're also next to a train stop that will take you directly into downtown Chicago. There, our students can access the arts, culture, internships, and job opportunities that the nation's third largest city provides. Also, your Wheaton student ID gets you free access to the Art Institute of Chicago, one of the largest art museums in the United States.
Our first stop is Blanchard Hall, the oldest and most iconic building on campus. Blanchard was built in 4 separate sections, beginning in 1853 and completed in 1927. It currently houses several academic departments and administrative offices. Since our founding, Wheaton has only had 8 presidents, starting with Jonathan Blanchard, a known abolitionist and believer in quality education for all. Our current president, Dr. Philip Wheaton, began his term in 2010, and the students are big fans of his. He regularly captains intramural teams, invites students over to his house for game nights, and if you ever need to find him, check the basketball courts around 6 a.m. He'll probably be playing his regularly scheduled pickup game in the Krauser Sports Complex.
Also featured in Blanchard Hall is our Missions Wall, a celebration of alumni who have gone on to serve in cross-cultural missions. Hundreds of names and decades of service around the world. Wheaton's commitment to academic excellence, the liberal arts, and education of the whole person will prepare you for whatever and wherever God is calling you, from the mission field to the boardroom.
We have over 50 majors, certificate programs, and accelerated master's programs. Our student-to-faculty ratio is about 10 to 1, and our average class size is about 23 students, which means you'll definitely get to know your professors. What's even better is that they will actually be intentional about getting to know you outside of the classroom, whether it be through office hours, meals in the dining hall, or even inviting students over to their homes for dinner. Few things make me happier than a home-cooked meal.
Wheaton values experiential learning for all students. We offer extensive study abroad opportunities through our Office of Global Programs and Studies. There are over 70 semester and summer programs. This next year, I'll be studying abroad through our Human Needs and Global Resources program, what we call Hunger. Hunger is an academic certificate program unique to Wheaton. It can be added to any major and includes on-campus coursework as well as a 6-month internship abroad, where you integrate your area of study with cross-cultural research and service.
Our next stop is Edmond Chapel. 3 times a week, students gather here for prayer and worship. Now I gotta be honest, having chapel 3 times a week seemed a little intimidating, but our chaplain's office does an incredible job at making chapel an engaging and enriching experience. We have diverse speakers from all over the world come to teach, as well as members from our own faculty, staff, and even student body. Chapel bands and student ensembles from our conservatory lead us in worship as well. Chapel is central to our mission because it refocuses our hearts and minds on God and on what Jesus is doing both in our lives and throughout the world. This large space also hosts concerts by Wheaton ensembles, guest artists, the annual talent show, and other student events run by our college union.
Armitage Center for Music and the Arts houses our Conservatory of Music. The conservatory provides professional training in music performance, music education, composition, and more with world-class faculty. Armerding was completely renovated in 2017 for our conservatory, with a recital hall, 2 recording studios, a digital keyboard lab, faculty studios, practice rooms, and more, all specifically designed with musical acoustics in mind. A new 650-seat concert hall and a large choral rehearsal room opened in August 2020, completing the second stage of renovation. Dr. Michael Wilder, our Dean of the Conservatory, Arts and Communication, frequently reminds us of the biblical importance of music and worship. Even if you're not a music major, you can participate in one of our many ensembles or take private lessons, and you can add a certificate in worship arts to any major. Coming to college to study the sciences, I didn't know if I'd be able to stay involved in music, but quickly found musical outlets in gospel choir and our co-ed a cappella group, Amplify A Cappella. Even with ensembles I'm not involved in, there are plenty of opportunities to enjoy campus concerts and performances each semester.
Krauser Sports Complex is home to 21 NCAA Division III intercollegiate teams, who combined have won over 40 conference championships in the last 10 years. We also have 7 club sports teams and many student-led intramurals, including sand volleyball, inner tube water polo, and more. 80% of the student body is involved in the activities offered through the Krauser Sports Complex. So Krauser plays a big part in student life at Wheaton. It has practice gyms, a rock climbing wall, a fully equipped weight room, and a dance studio featuring group fitness classes. Also housed in Krauser is a 25-meter pool and King Arena, used by our varsity volleyball, wrestling, and basketball teams. Our varsity men's basketball team made a Division III Final Four appearance in 2019. Across campus, you will see McCulley Stadium, home to the Wheaton Thunder football team, who advanced to the Division III quarterfinals in 2019. And next to that is Joe Bean Stadium, home to our men's and women's soccer teams. Let's go Thunder! Wheaton is a residential campus, and 90% of our students live on campus all 4 years, whether in residence halls, apartments, or houses. If you're an incoming freshman, you'll be living in one of our 2 underclassmen residence halls, Fisher Hall or Smith-Traber Hall.
With 75% of our students coming from outside of Illinois, we aren't a school where students go home on the weekends. Instead, students invest in making Wheaton their home, and residence life is a prime example of how living in community is central to our lives as Christians and central to daily life at Wheaton. Dedicated residence life staff supports students mentally, physically, and spiritually. Student residence assistants on each floor plan events and community building opportunities, like the annual Oktoberfest, a contest specific to Smith-Traber Hall, where floors prepare and offer immersive, themed tours.
But if you ask me, I had way more fun at the Fisher Dodgeball Tournament.
However, I think we can all agree that Smith-Traber is clearly the superior residence hall.
That's hilarious. Even the visitors watching know that Fisher is obviously better.
Our next stop is Meyer Science Center. Rising from the rocks to the stars, with geology and environmental science on the lower level, and moving up to our observatory at the top, this structure is built on a grounded passion for learning through and from God's creation. Wheaton's commitment to the integration of faith and learning continues strongly through our study of the sciences. At Wheaton, we believe that all truth is God's truth, so the study of God's created order is both an academic and a spiritual pursuit. Almost all professors have their own labs where undergrad students conduct research alongside them. We offer rigorous preparation for pre-health tracks through our dedicated health professions office. As an applied health science major on the pre-nursing track, my hands-on learning experiences here have profoundly shaped my passion for the sciences. Getting to learn in the cadaver lab only deepened the way that I understand and engage my faith in relation to our physical embodiment. Meyer is also home to Perry the Mastodon, one of the most complete mastodon skeletons in North America. Found in nearby Glen Ellen in 1963, Perry was excavated by Wheaton geology students and now has inspired our Thunder mascot, Tor.
Beamer Student Center was named after Todd M. Beamer, a 1991 Wheaton alum who lost his life on Flight 93 during the 9/11 attacks. His famous words, "Let's roll," have become a motto to us here at Wheaton. Lower level Beamer, or low beams as we like to call it, is where you'll find study spaces, Sam's Coffee Shop, the Stoop Grill where you can grab some burgers and fries, a game room, the college post office, and the chaplain's office. Beamer also houses many of our student engagement offices, such as the Student Activities, the Office of Christian Outreach, the Office of Multicultural Development, and International Student Programs. Not to mention more than 75 student-initiated clubs and student-led groups. Low Beams is a pretty busy place. Each office has its own staff committed to student growth and resources for learning outside the classroom and having fun outside the classroom. But one of my all-time favorite spots in Low Beams is Gold Star Chapel, a small prayer chapel that's perfect for quiet devotional times. It's named Gold Star for the 39 Wheaton College students who gave their lives during World War II.
Beamer Student Center also houses Anderson Commons, our main dining hall served by Bon Appetit. We've been consistently ranked among the top in the nation for our food, and Bon Appetit is committed to preparing locally sourced meals in their scratch kitchen. The dining hall is a great place to meet friends old and new, enjoy a meal with one of your professors, and delve even deeper into the campus community.
Right across from Beamer is our bookstore and the Center for Vocation and Career, or the CVC. The CVC prepares you to take your Wheaton education out into the world. With dedicated career coaches assigned to specific majors, they will provide plenty of opportunities for growth throughout your 4 years here. Offering more than just the traditional resume and interview help, the CVC helps you figure out who you are, what strengths you bring, and where God is calling you through a curriculum of self-reflection, career exploration, and a commitment to internships. They also help networking and introducing students to employers. Wheaton has an extensive and international network of alumni who love to connect with and offer opportunities to current students.
At Wheaton, you don't have to settle. Wheaton gives you an opportunity to become the person God is calling you to be and prepares you to make the difference God is calling you to make for Christ and His kingdom.
Thank you for joining our tour today. Know that the admissions office and many more on this campus are praying for you, praying that the Lord would direct your next steps and guide your college decision. We would love to connect with you further. Contact the admissions office to meet your admissions counselor, get your questions answered, and to set up your next visit. We look forward to meeting you. See you soon.
To King Arena for this afternoon's broadcast on the Wheaton Thunder Sports Network of CCIW women's basketball action between the Millikin Big Blue and the home Wheaton Thunder. Wheaton down 17 to Millikin as we kick off this second half. And they will start, Millikin will look to add some points to their score as Caroline Sickink down on the ground, fighting for the ball, and ends up forcing a turnover. Lily Schwen now with the ball on the other end for the Thunder. Gets a pass over to Hannah Swider and barely escapes the hand of a defender as Caroline Sickink is driving in. Finds Annika Richardson wide open. From deep, Annika Richardson for 3 points for the Thunder. Certainly a welcome sight for the Thunder team as Millikin's offensive possession gets off to a very quick start and end as Knutson buries her shot. Amelia, you got to stick your head inside the Thunder locker room during halftime. What are some takeaways from what Coach Madsen had to say to his team?
Yeah, it's funny because both of the things we just saw are things that Coach Madsen touched on in the locker room at halftime. He said, first of all, we're going to need effort out there. He didn't see that effort in the first half that he would have liked, and so he wanted to see the effort that we just saw with Caroline Sickink getting on the ball, getting down on the ground, getting the ball, and then getting her team a possession on the other end where Annika Richardson buried that three. So that's exactly what Coach Madsen was telling his team to do at halftime. And he was telling them as well, you know, Elise Knutson, there's not a lot more we can do. We're in her face. We're making it tough for her to make shots. She's just making really incredible shots right now and having a heck of a game. And so he said, hey, let's continue to try to shut her down. Let's play our best defensively against her, but while we're doing that, continue to shut down her teammates as well, and that will make the difference. And so we'll see if Wheaton's able to do that on the defensive end in the remainder of this third quarter. And we'll hope that they continue to pick it up offensively like we just saw with Hannah Swider with an incredible cut and a way to finish right under the basket with her left hand. Lily Schwinn's going to foul here on the defensive end. I think that's her second or third. It's her second, excuse me. And so that'll give Millikin another possession here under the basket.
Well, Amelia, I think you make a great point about Lise Knudsen for Millikin. With such a talented offensive player, your game plan really is never to fully stop them, because there are going to be some shots that you just have to live with when such a talented player is making them. But again, it's shutting down the rest of the team, making it something where she has to do more than she might be capable of on the offensive end. We've already seen the Thunder doing a good job of trying to keep the ball out of the hands of all of the teammates of Knudsen. She spent a lot of the time with the ball in her hands already to start this game. Wheaton will hope to force some tough shots out of her.
Lily Schwinn, of course, has been playing great defensive, has had a great defensive effort so far in this game, but just a little too physical there. Gets her third foul and is subbed out now as Bryn Durrell will enter the game for the Thunder to keep Lily Schwinn out of foul trouble.
Deep inbound pass from Millikin to Jordan Hildebrand. Jordan Hildebrand has had an impressive night already for her team as Knudsen with a step back buries the triple. Impressive move and shot from her. And those are the kind of shots that are really hard to game plan for, and some of the ones that you just kind of have to live with. A great offensive night from her already as Annika Richardson.
Great drive by Richardson there, but Millikin right ahead of her draws the charge. Elise Knudsen doing it on both ends of the court there, which will get the ball back to Big Blue.
Yeah, Annika Richardson with a really tough offensive position, and she got the basket to go in, but unfortunately the foul call did not go in her favor. Millikin will be back with the ball here. This is Staten out of McCollum back to the corner. Kaylee Hermanson defending the ball handler. This is Sophie Darden now. Shot clock winding down. Looks like there will be a off-ball defensive foul called against the Thunder.
It's the Thunder's fourth foul in this third quarter, whereas Millikin has no fouls so far, so that's really slowed the Thunder down so far in the start of the second half. Just can't stay out of foul trouble, giving Millikin possession after possession. As Darden will drive here, kicks it out, but Millikin will lose the ball and turn it over, get it back in the hands of the Thunder, and we'll see if they can get something going on offense here.
Yeah, Thunder catch a little bit of a break there off of a bad pass. We're going to hope to see them score here as Ellie Castle passes across the court to Annika Richardson, and her three-point attempt is just off. Almost found its mark, but was just not quite there, as Knudsen distributing the ball, getting it right back, and
touch the top of the shot clock, so it'll go back in the hands of the Thunder there. Knudsen just a little too strong with that shot.
Yeah, Knudsen missing that one. Thunder can take a breather after that. She's been knocking down shots from everywhere tonight, so it's good to see her miss one for the Thunder fans and Thunder team. Bryn Durrell tries to get a pass to Hannah Swider, but it's just outside of the outstretched arms of Swider, and that will be a turnover.
You can hear Hannah Swider, the senior captain, telling her freshman guard just to swing the ball over one more time to the other player on the wing and then enter the ball into the post. So great leadership there by Hannah Swider, making those corrections to her underclassmen teammates. We'll see if she continues to lead in the remainder of this third quarter here, as Wheaton will try to cut down this lead as they're now down 37-56 with 6 minutes to go here. Shot
clock now at 10. And an impressive find from Staten to Hildebrand. There's been a connection between the two of them a few times tonight, and Hildebrand makes good on the easy layup.
And Kent Madsen will call a timeout here with his team to reassess what they need to do in the remainder of the third quarter. Josh, if you're Coach Madsen, what kind of adjustments would you be making for your team right now in this timeout?
Well, there's a lot of places I could go, but unfortunately, Wheaton finds themselves now with just under 6 minutes left in a position where any foul they're going to commit, since Millikin is in the bonus, is going to give them way more shots from the free throw line. That's just something that Wheaton can't afford right now. But really what we're seeing, I think, is, again, a lack of discipline on the defensive end. We're getting a little too aggressive with the hands, and certainly there have been some calls that could have gone either way that have maybe gone in Millikin's favor. But Wheaton just needs to tighten things up, play with a little bit more discipline. We saw, and we have seen, a few passes that have just been a little too overambitious. I think it's getting back into an offensive rhythm. If that means slowing it down for a few possessions, then I think that's a sacrifice that the Wheaton team will be willing to make to get back on track. But the fouls have certainly been the narrative of this game as it's continued, as Wheaton just has found themselves in foul trouble the longer this game has gone on.
Yeah, lots of foul trouble for the Thunder, as well as a lot of turnovers so far in this game. And the stat that really stands out to me, along with those turnovers and fouls, is just one offensive rebound. And that's what Coach Madsen was harping on his team about at halftime, was we're not going to win with one offensive rebound. We're not even going to come close. So as you said, it's that effort and staying consistent and getting those little things done that we need to really do in this remainder of the second half here, as Hannah Swider will just miss her shot and it'll go back in the hands of Millikin.
Yeah, and despite Millikin holding such a large lead, they have on quite a few offensive possessions missed their first shot, but unfortunately had just come down with a lot more offensive rebounds than Wheaton have had a lot of opportunities to restart a possession or just get an easy putback. And Wheaton, like you said, has really got to put a stop to that if they hope to chip away at this very large Millikin lead.
Jordan Hildebrand tapping the ball away from Kaylee Hermanson, but she's able to recover it. Gets it back to Sicking, back to Hermanson, who's just short again, and it looks like we've got an over-the-back call on Millikin, so it'll stay with the Thunder here. Brent Doyle's going to inbound the ball to her teammates below the basket.
Wheaton's certainly happy to see a call going their way. Hannah Swider, the senior, will inbound. She's communicating to her team from the sidelines. Nice little lob inbound to Caroline Sickink, who works against Knudsen, and Knudsen is looking for a foul there, but Sickink managed to drop her and make the easy jumper.
Yeah, great job by Sickink there. That play is run for Hannah Swider to come in and post down low. So Sickink was looking for her, realized, wait a minute, that's not there. I'll just take it to the hoop myself. So great job by Sickink there to recognize that her teammate was completely defended and score herself, as Bryn Durrell will grab the board down low and stay strong with it and keep the ball, get a jump ball, and it looks like it's going to go back in the hands of the Thunder here, as we've got another timeout here. We'll update you on CCIW play today. The Elmhurst Blue Jays took on Carthage at 2 p.m. and Carthage beat Elmhurst in Kenosha 56-37. North Park and Carroll met at Carroll up in Wisconsin, and the Carroll Pioneers took down North Park by 84-50. So a pretty good game there for Carroll. And IWU, Illinois Wesleyan, is playing Augustana right now, and they lead in the third quarter 39-31. So as we've said many times this season, the CCIW rankings are always bouncing around. Teams are always shifting. There's been a lot of crazy games this year, but Millikin tonight playing the Thunder to get that first place spot in the regular season title. So if they win this game tonight, they'll end the season #1 in the conference and then start their postseason play. The Thunder will end 5th in the conference, and they'll play North Park for the first game of the conference tournament on Tuesday.
Well, we're at 4 minutes and 33 seconds left in this third quarter. Wheaton down 19 to their conference opponent, the Millikin Big Blue. And the story of the game, as we've talked about, certainly has been fouls and rebounding. But Elise Knudsen, the sophomore for Millikin, has had an outstanding game. She has 30 points on 12 for 14 shooting, and she's perfect from outside the arc. She's just been borderline unstoppable tonight. And Wheaton will hope that they can do something to slow her down as Hannah Swider pulls for three and hits. Hannah Swider, the senior, hitting the three-pointer.
Nice assist there by Caroline Sicking, double teamed in the paint, kicks it out to Swider, but Elise Knudsen's gonna answer on the other end of the court with a deep three to get her team now up by 19. Looks like Caroline Sicking gets fouled down low and she'll go to the line. So back and forth here out of that timeout already. Both teams fighting here in King Arena.
Yeah, in the first half, especially near the beginning of the game, it seemed like it was going to be a game of runs with both teams having some offensive streaks. But unfortunately, we've reached a point where Millikin has really been able to answer any momentum that Wheaton has got, as we just saw with Hannah Swider bearing the triple, and Elise Knudsen less than 10 seconds later buries one of her own. So Wheaton will hope that some of the momentum will shift a little bit more in their direction. Hope for some missed shots from Millikin to try and retake some momentum and continue to chip away at this hefty Millikin lead.
Sicking will split there, make one, miss one, and it'll go back in the hands of Big Blue. Knudsen up top with it, passes over to Staton, who drives, but Annika Richardson's there to get the ball back in the hands of the Thunder. Hannah Swider now bringing it up court for her team.
Coach Madsen certainly got to enjoy seeing that kind of defensive intensity and effort from his team, as we saw Annika Richardson just get involved in that play on the defensive end. Good to see her force a turnover and stop a Millikin possession in its tracks, as the ball will remain with Wheaton. Hannah Swider will inbound, and she's communicating to her teammates. She finds Annika Richardson with the inbound pass, and the ball goes right back to Swider. Unfortunately, Swider mishandles the pass just a little bit, and it will be back with Millikin.
Yeah, Josh, that's the exact play that they just ran on the other end of the court when they had an inbound play, and Swider wasn't open last time, was barely open this time, but just wasn't able to keep the ball when she got it inbounded to her, turns it over, and Millikin is back with the ball as Darden drives, but is fouled by Kaylee Hermanson. So Darden will shoot 2 shots here.
Yeah, Kaylee Hermanson and Caroline Sickink on that possession both challenged the shot from number 24, Sophie Darden, but unfortunately Kaylee Hermanson got caught up in some contact. She got called for the shooting foul, and Darden will shoot 2. And Darden buries the first one, hitting nothing but the net. And the noise from the crowd seemed to maybe have thrown Sophie Darden's second attempt off there, as there was a chance for Millikin to take a 20-point lead. They're now up only 19, as Elise Knudsen with a tough step-back move just inside the three-point line against Lily Schwen, and she hits to no one's surprise.
Elise Knudsen again, and got to give credit to Bailey Kaufman on that play, who was able to go get the offensive board for her team, swing it around to Knudsen to get them that 3.
Knudsen now with 33 points on just 2 misses on the night. That's a deep, deep three-point attempt, and make the Millikin bench happy to see that. Wheaton much less happy to see that, as Annika Richardson gets the pass from Lily Schwen, and Annika Richardson tried to give it back to Lily Schwen, but unfortunately McCullum for Millikin was able to get her hands in there and take that ball away, ending the Wheaton possession. Sophie Darden works against Ellie Castle, but decides against it and gives it back to McCullum. Caroline Sickink getting her hand in. Tough defense gets the lead against her defender, and her defender fouls her as Caroline Sickink, you'll be able to see here on the replay, just got a few steps on her.
Yep, Kaufman with a smart foul there. Goes right into Sickink's side, makes sure she doesn't make the basket, so it's not a three-point play.
Yeah, and Caroline Sickink has struggled a bit from the line tonight, making about half of her free throw attempts. She makes her first. And the second.
And Paris Cheney's going to sub in for Sickink. Paris Cheney's had quite the career with the Thunder. Came to the Thunder her freshman year, was a manager, and then walked on to the team her sophomore year and has given great effort throughout her time at Wheaton. So great seeing her get some playing time tonight in here in King Arena for senior night. As Millikin has the ball again on the offensive end, and we've got a three-point attempt there, but just rolls out. Wheaton's going to advance the ball here in the hands of Annika Richardson.
Richardson jumping high to pull that pass down from Bryn Durrell and gets fouled. So Richardson will go to the line now.
Yeah, some nice plays between the freshmen there, Bryn Durrell and Annika Richardson, both freshmen this year, passing it back and forth to each other. Eventually, Annika Richardson going up tough and drawing the foul. No questions there. All three refs blew their whistle on that one, so she'll head to the line here to shoot two.
Wheaton down 22, now down 21 after Annika Richardson makes her first free throw. And she makes the second. The Thunder now down 20 to Millikin.
Just about a minute and 15 seconds here in the third quarter. Millikin has the ball up top, and they're holding it to get an open shot here.
Miranda Fox of Millikin working against Lily Schwen. Schwen with great defense. Jordan Hildebrand passes out to the corner. Good closeout by Paris Cheney. Forces a awkward shot from Snyder, but it's rebounded by Jordan Hildebrand, who gets fouled on the follow-up shot, and she'll go to the line for some free throws.
Yeah, frustrating defensive effort there for the Thunder. They gave a great defensive effort throughout this whole shot clock. Were able to stop multiple Millikin players, but Hildebrand just tough in the paint there, grabs that board and draws the foul. Great job by the fifth year, stepping up when her team needs it. But frustrating for the Thunder, just 1 second left on that shot clock when Hildebrand grabbed that ball.
Yeah, Millikin just has been superior to Wheaton when it comes to rebounding tonight. We've seen the importance of that practiced and statistic that is not quite as flashy as lighting up the scoring column, but certainly is as important and can shift the momentum of an entire game as we've seen it do here tonight, as Annika Richardson makes good on a really tough baseline floater against her defender. Good to see her getting a shot in the make there. Miranda Fox surveying the court for her team, communicating with her coach. And they'll look to run the clock down. There'll be just about a 3-second difference here between the game clock and the shot clock. Fox working, under 10 seconds left, and Jordan Hildebrand goes up against Ellie Castle, draws the foul and scores the 2-point basket. Ellie Castle visibly frustrated there, and Jordan Hildebrand will have a chance to convert this to a 3-point play.
Yeah, Castle's done such a great job at defending Hildebrand so far this game, but just a little tired here in the third quarter. Can't quite stay away from Hildebrand and draws and fouls her there to give her that extra point, as Lily Schwen will try to get a point at the end of the third for her team, but just can't get it to go, and Wheaton will fall 49-71 here at the end of the third. Josh, going into the fourth quarter, what are some things that you're going to want to see Wheaton adjusting and doing in the fourth to shorten this lead?
Well, you know, anything is possible. We've seen some crazy things happen in the past few years here at King Arena. The likelihood, statistically, of the Thunder being able to complete a comeback against this very talented Millikin team is probably pretty slim, but if we've learned anything from watching the women play this season, it's that they don't give up, even in the late game situations that are tough. I think this is a part of the game where this is where you just try and go out and just show that you're not ever going to stop fighting. You're not going to ever stop playing your heart out. I think we're going to see that from the Thunder, and hopefully we'll see them be able to stifle Millikin a little bit more. That third quarter has been a bit of a thorn in the heel of the Thunder team all season, as we've talked about, something that Coach Madsen has pointed out to his team many times, that the third quarter is just a place where the Thunder can struggle. So we'll hope to see a strong fourth from them. And hopefully one of the big things they can do is manage to stop Elise Knudsen from continuing this impressive scoring night from her. She's up to 35 points for her Millikin team.
Yeah, Knudsen's just been fantastic on the floor tonight, but you make a great point, Josh. Just hope to see this Wheaton team come out with some strength against these great Millikin players like Hildebrand, who just finished down low, and just play with some grit tonight. They've, of course, had a tough season with COVID protocols, 6 players with injuries that are no longer able to play. So just been a tough season for the Thunder this year. They've faced a lot of adversity, but are still playing hard, and we hope to see them maintain that effort here in the fourth quarter, as Coach Madsen will make multiple subs here, and Millikin will inbound the ball.
Yeah, certainly injuries have really played a part in just changing the course of this Wheaton season. Some very talented and important contributors to the Wheaton Thunder women's team, including Annie Tate and Taylor Sanders, missing parts of the season, which certainly has changed the fortunes of this Thunder team, but has led to some opportunities for some new players, including Annika Richardson, the freshman, who's had a really impressive season. Caroline Sickink now with the ball for them. She gets it back from Annika Richardson, moves down low against 3 defenders, gets a shot up, and the foul is called against Sickink.
We'll watch that again here as Sickink drives, and Millikin with, again, just another great effort play by Miranda Fox with that charge there, getting the ball back in the hands of her teammates. We've seen Millikin take several charges so far this game, so it's really those gritty plays that Millikin's been able to consistently perform, as Knudsen with a fantastic shot down low just kind of levitates in the air and is able to get it up and off the backboard and in for her team. They now lead 75-49. Wheaton again here with an offensive possession. We'll see if they can turn it around, as Annika Richardson shoots a hook shot from outside, and she'll get a foul called, so she'll head to the line.
Richardson will look to make at least one of these 2 free throws and give Wheaton their first points this fourth quarter.
As we said, Annika Richardson's really had to step up this year in the absence of Annie Tate, and has done a fantastic job as a freshman, playing a lot of minutes, played 39 minutes on Wednesday night against North Park. Only saw the bench once, so she's had a great season for the Thunder, has played like she's a senior, but just a young freshman, and she'll finish both of her free throws there as a 75% free throw shooter.
Elise Knudsen with the ball once again for her Millikin team, and she works the same angle as she did just a possession ago.
Looks like Hannah Swider will get a charge there. Great job by Swider down low. Gets the ball back for the Thunder. She'll bring the ball up now.
This is Brenda Rill now with the ball for the Thunder. She gets it to Sickink outside the 3-point line. Sickink driving in. Finds a wide open Hannah Swider, whose 3-point attempt is good. 3 points from Hannah Swider, who's had a really great night offensively. She now sits at 20 points on the night. Great to see the senior in her last regular season game really giving her team a lot of help in the scoring column and all over the floor. Her leadership has been so crucial for this Thunder team this year, as she'll take the ball up the court for them once again.
Definitely. Before the game, Hannah Swider was telling her team, hey, no matter what happens tonight, let's walk off the court and be able to look each other in the eyes and say that we gave it all that we had for each other. Let's go out there and do that. So great to see her leading the way, getting a charge on the defensive end, and then a nice three on the offensive end to kind of set the standard for her team there in this fourth quarter.
And just after her three-point make, Caroline Sickink had a quick basket the possession after. A nice two-point basket from Sickink down low, and Swider forced an out of bounds as Millikin was taking it up the court. And they now will start with a fresh offensive possession here. Hildebrand with the ball now, working against Caroline Sickink. Sickink forces her to pick up her dribble. This is now Sophie Darden, who finds Fox. Gets it to number 10. And now out to an open shooter, Staton on the outside. Her shot does not fall, but Millikin once again comes down with another offensive rebound.
Their 10th offensive rebound of the night. Wheaton's still just sitting with one offensive rebound tonight, so that's really hurt Wheaton in this game. And it's really given Millikin quite the advantage here as they lead 77-56 in the fourth quarter.
Hannah Swider will pull from three again, because why not? And she hits! Another three-pointer from Hannah Swider, now with 23 in this game. This is Miranda Fox in the corner now for Millikin, working against Hannah Swider. Gets it to Sophie Darden, who works again inside and stuffed by Hannah Swider, but picks up her own.
Just 5 here on the shot clock. We'll see what Millikin will do as time's going down. Darden tries to get a shot up, but it's boarded by Bryn Durrell.
Yeah, good contest there from Annika Richardson, making Sophie Darden take a tough shot. Caroline Sickink goes in and puts up a one-handed shot. Unfortunately, comes off of the backside of the rim.
Yeah, Bryn Durrell just couldn't keep her hands off Miranda Fox as she drove down the court. Gets that foul. Yeah, as Lily Schwinn will now sub in for Kaylee Hermanson. Lily Schwinn at 3 fouls, so Coach Madsen's trying to not play her too much so she doesn't get into too bad of foul trouble here in the fourth quarter.
Millikin will also have a round of substitutions here. Knudsen with the ball just behind half court. We'll try and set up a successful Millikin possession. Staton gets it to Hildebrand, and Caroline Sickink gets a hand in, almost force a turnover there.
And looks like Hannah Swider will draw the charge there. Great job by Hannah Swider, just staying tough. She's doing it on both ends of the court tonight, Josh. Offensively has just been on fire here in the fourth quarter, not giving up, and then defensively not giving up either, drawing that foul. So great job by the senior from Wheaton, Illinois, to step up for her team as they now are down 59-77 here in King Arena.
Yeah, good to see Hannah Swider having a good game for her team. The Wheaton team overall with a 10-2 run in the last 3 minutes. Good to see them being able to pick up some momentum and rhythm on the offensive end. They have shot 6 for 7 over the last 7 shots, the Thunder. And Millikin scoreless in the last 2 minutes. Hannah Swider, like you said, Amelia, really active in this fourth quarter. Already has made a slew of shots and been active on both sides of the floor, drawing fouls, playing impressive defense. And as we come out of this timeout with just under 5 minutes and 40 seconds left in this game, I'm sure she will remain just as active as she has been in this fourth quarter to close out her last regular season game.
Yeah, I'll tell you one of my favorite memories about Hannah Swider, Josh, came from just about 2 weeks ago. Coach Madsen gave his team kind of a day off the court. They weren't going to have practice on the court, so nothing physical. They were just going to watch film. Hannah Swider comes into film with just about 2 minutes before it was about to start, and she is dripping with sweat. I mean, dripping with sweat, face red. Assistant coach Katie Cuthbert goes, "Hannah Swider, what were you doing?" And she said, "Coach, a day that I take off is a day another team in the CCIW is working, and I just can't stand it. I can't stand it." And Coach Cuthbert and Coach Madsen looked at each other and shook their heads and just kind of laughed. And that's really been the story of Hannah Swider here at Wheaton College. She's always given 100% effort, and so great to see her doing that tonight on her senior night. We hope she continues to do that here in the remainder of the fourth, as Millikin now has the ball with 13 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah, just such an important player to this Wheaton team on all fronts, whether she's on or off the court, like you said, Amelia. Just a culture setter. Leads by example, provides such valuable veteran leadership, and it will certainly be interesting to see how the Thunder team fares next year and they adjust to her absence. But she's certainly given, like you've said, all that she has to her teammates in her years here. As Millikin can't convert on that offensive possession, Hannah Swider will have the ball again for the Thunder. It's just under 5 minutes left on this game clock. Wheaton with 59, Millikin with 77.
Paris Cheney puts up a shot, but it's short. Millikin advancing the ball here.
Hildebrand with an impressive pass through traffic. She's got a big grin on her face as her teammate converts the layup.
Yeah, Chelsea McCollum there with Millikin's 42nd point in the paint tonight. I mean, they've just done a fantastic job driving and scoring inside the paint, whereas Wheaton's only scored 20 points in the paint, so they're more than doubling Wheaton right now in the paint. But Wheaton's able to answer there with a nice fadeaway shot as Hildebrand will finish down low. Great shot against a lot of defensive players around her. Again, just that veteran leadership on the court that we've seen from her consistently tonight. Her team now up 20.
Yep, Hildebrand with just an impressive finish there against some contact. She looked like she was looking for a little bit of a call there against some tough contact, but she managed to have the shot fall regardless. This is Staten, covered heavily by Annika Richardson, and that will be a timeout.
Yeah, Millikin head coach Olivia Lett taking the timeout there. Coach Lett, no stranger to the CCIW, led her team. She played for Illinois Wesleyan back in the day and led them to the 2012 National Championship and was an All-American and D3 Player of the Year. So she's done a great job, knows exactly how to get a team together on the basketball court, and she's done a great job coaching this Millikin team and leading them to many victories throughout her time with the Big Blue, as they now lead Wheaton 81-61 with just about 3.5 minutes here in the remainder of this game.
Yep, Wheaton finds themselves down by 20 points with 3 minutes and 38 seconds left. Wheaton has been a lot more disciplined in this quarter, been offensively quite efficient compared to the third. They have not found themselves in quite the amount of foul trouble that they did in the third quarter. At this point, last quarter, Wheaton found themselves in foul trouble with Millikin being in the bonus. Wheaton, again, has been a lot more disciplined. And they make some substitutions here. Looks like Rachel Brady, number 20, is in, as well as Alexis Martin for the Thunder. They'll get some valuable PT at the end of this game here. This is Elise Knudsen, once again with the ball for her team, surveying the court, taking her time on this possession. It's now Staten driving in and making the shot, positioning her body just right to get a pretty uncontested layup up, and she just puts it in right off the glass. Staten's had a great night for her team as well. Lily Schwen finds an open Paris Cheney, and Paris Cheney's three-point attempt is just off. Hits the outside of the rim and comes off the glass.
Staten a little long there on her three, gets it back to the Thunder.
Paris Cheney gets it to Rachel Brady. Now to Lily Schwen and inside to Annika Richardson, and looks like there'll be another timeout.
Coach Madsen will call a timeout here just to make some substitutions, as Hannah Turner out of Texas will come into the game, the junior, and Maya Adel-Parker from New York City will come in for the Thunder as well. So lots of new faces on the court right now for both Millikin and Wheaton. Great to see some younger players getting some playing time tonight, as you said, Josh, as the outcome of this game has become pretty clear here with just about 3 minutes to go. Millikin leading 83-61 in King Arena.
And excuse us, there actually was not a timeout called. Just a little miscommunication between some of the referees. There was actually a foul called on the floor, which resulted in a dead ball. Wheaton with another foul now, giving them another offensive possession. Paris Cheney will start it out for the Thunder. Works against defense, gets to Rachel Brady, who's got an uncontested drive to the hoop, but her shot unfortunately goes in and out. Just under 2.5 minutes left in this game. And Paris Cheney gets her hands in the way of a Millikin pass, forces it out of bounds, gives Wheaton a chance to reset defensively. Millikin working the ball around, not feeling rushed. Find themselves with a chance for a three-pointer, and that attempt bounces up and hits the top of the hoop, which will go out of bounds and result in the Thunder getting another offensive possession here. Number 44 for Millikin subs in. That is Maddie Carroll. We have under 2 minutes left now. Wheaton Thunder down 22 points to their conference opponent, the Millikin Big Blue. This is Alexis Martin working. Alexis Martin works down low, and there's an offensive foul called against her. Excuse me, there's a foul against Millikin. I saw the Millikin bench react really excitedly, and I thought, oh, another foul against Wheaton, but Alexis Martin will shoot free throws. She makes the first one.
Yeah, their bench has tricked us many times tonight. They're quite animated, but yeah, Alexis Martin driving there, drawing the foul. She does that just about every day in practice, always challenging her upperclassmen with crafty plays offensively, and great to see her in the game tonight, getting some exposure on the court.
And she made one of her free throws, could not convert on both. Millikin will again take their time with this offensive possession and just work the shot clock down to find the best possible shot. With the possession of their lead, they have no worries about having to use a lot of offensive strategy or speed.
Yeah, great job there by Paris Cheney to get the ball from Jacqueline Anderson, draw a jump ball, but it'll go back in the hands of the Big Blue with a minute and a half here.
Maddie Carroll with the ball, and the shot clock expires. Good for the Thunder to force their first shot clock violation of the game. Paris Cheney will run the point for the Thunder here. And her pass inside is picked off by Millikin. Alexis Martin gets her hand in there though, forces the ball to go out off of a Millikin player's leg. Wheaton will get the ball right back.
Again, must be encouraging for Coach Madsen to see these young players coming in at the end of the game and playing with so much grit and playing tough, even at the end of a tough game tonight. As they will turn the ball over here, and Millikin will have the ball at the other end. Not quite able to finish on that layup though, and Alexis Martin will advance the ball here. Her right hand, and gets fouled down low. Again, another crafty move in the paint. It's what she does best, and able to draw the foul there and get back on the free throw line.
Good to see Alexis Martin playing so well in this limited amount of time she's getting. She looks completely unfazed at pretty much everything that comes her way, playing with a lot of poise. And I think it's worth noting how difficult it is to come in at the end of the game when you've been on the bench for all of it. You're not warm coming in. There's a lot of nerves, and these young players, like you said, have just really, it's got to be encouraging, like you said, for Coach Madsen to see that the future of his team is really bright. All these young players getting in, getting some valuable PT against a really, really strong Millikin team, and playing with poise as if they've been playing the whole game.
Definitely. Yeah, very encouraging for any Wheaton Thunder fan who's looking at the future here to see these players coming in with so much grit. And really both players from both teams coming in and fighting at the end of this game to make it interesting for the viewers at home here, as we just have 15 seconds to go. Hannah Turner's going to bring the ball up for the Thunder. Survey the court here, and we'll see what she can do. She drives but loses it, gets it back. Passes to Rachel Brady, who's just short, and looks like that will be the ball game tonight, as the Wheaton Thunder will fall to Millikin Big Blue 63-83 here in King Arena, giving Millikin the regular season title in the CCIW this year.
Yeah, it was a great game. Both teams played really well. Unfortunately, the Thunder were not able to come out of this last regular season game with a victory against the very strong Millikin team, but good to see this energy and a lot of players from Wheaton get to see the court. Thank you for joining us for this afternoon's broadcast on the Wheaton Thunder Sports Network of your Wheaton Thunder women's basketball team versus their CCIW opponent, the Millikin Big Blue. Stay tuned in just a few minutes for some more basketball action from the CCIW as the men's team from the Thunder and the Millikin Big Blue will get started here in just a few minutes here at King Arena.